this lesson, we will continue with the next section of our website we are trying to develop so far. Now, if we head over to our website that we are aiming at, let me see if I could get it here, open it up. Then we would know that we are moving on to the next section, which is very, very crucial. The carousel section. But before we get a carousel, we'll have to get some bit of text, which will make our work. You see if it's okay. It's gonna make our work very smooth, and ensure we have it up and running. So I'm actually opening the go back home. Let's see, the carousel is this one. If not, then we'll have to target a new one. Okay. It's bad. Okay. So this is the next section we are going to target. By clicking on this, it should be moving. But it seems I kind of have some network issues. So we'll just open it from this side and then we will be able to, get that. Okay. Should open this thing before we started. Yeah. Go back. Okay. So we're gonna make this one. It's taking a bit longer. It's loading materials and other stuff. You could see because of the network issue, I am having some problems here. I'm having some problems here. You could see our icons are no more, and we are working around the clock to ensure we get the network back. But what we are going to do in this section wouldn't necessarily require the network. That's why we are taking it like this. Okay, so our images or the icons were supposed to be here, then our download buttons as well. Moving up, I think it's also not working. What's wrong? So we'll have to check all this and be very sure everything is up and running. And it seems our test has also moved up, which is something that we didn't specify. So actually we are supposed to have something like this. This one came, so it's letting me to come. Let's see what happens. Okay. We are supposed to have something like this, and that's exactly what we are going to work towards too. So this is the next session we are going to concentrate on. Okay. By clicking on this, you see that it changes. This is what we call a carousel. The carousel is virtually something that helps website visitors or users be able to scroll through the website and get to know the content of the website without doing much of the scrolling down and upwards. Okay, so that's one thing, and we are going to learn how we're going to do this, but not in this section. We are just going to write a structure and maybe get some design for it. Then later on we will implement the carousel. Okay, we will implement the carousel. So for this lesson we will just concentrate on this. So let's go back here. Okay, so it seems they are back and working, but these guys are still not as we expect. So we'll just go and try and do some changes. So our icons are also back. But there's one thing that we have been, struggling with for the past days with this space over here, which we actually don't want. So we just have to, ensure that we get rid of that. I actually left it off because we, as developers, we are meant to solve problems. And it is part of the problem solving. Even though not that difficult, I decided to leave it until this section. This session, we're going to focus more on CSS than HTML. You get it? So, without wasting much time, let us begin. Let's go to our listing. Let me close this guy. Can you help me? Basically. Okay, so I've been closed over here. So this is what we are working towards to. Oh, okay. This is what we are working towards to. And we could see there are some tests over here which probably will be in an H1 to H6 tag or element, because looking at how large it is and those stuff, we kind of assume that's gonna be like that. Then we have some image here in a circular form and some name over here. So let's go straight away, and we say we're going to tackle our next section. Okay, so let's just close this guy and start up this. So that's fine. So let's highlight and go down straight away. So we are moving on to the next section, and we have to be, kind of intuitive. These are some things people are saying, probably customers. Okay. These are probably what customers are saying, and we're going to try and implement that part. So this section, we're going to, call it some intuitive name, blah, 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 blah. And we're going to get it an ID. And we say customers say, not the best, but kind of better. Customers say, enter. And then we're going to get some A, or let's say H1, some H1 is too much. Let's get H2. Let's see what it says. I no longer have to sniff other. I no longer have to sniff other dogs. Okay, my dog used to be so lonely. But with dogs, that's not about that. It says I no longer have to, I no longer have to sniff other dogs for love. And I no longer sniff other dogs for love. I OG, yes, on Tinder. I found the hottest body on Tinder. Oof, I found the hottest body on Tinder. So this is what our customer is saying, and get in some. See, okay. So there we go. And it says after that we have an image. So let's go. What is this? An image. Bam. Then we're going to specify the source. We just have to go to the root. Then it's easy for us to go inside. And this time around we're going to get it up. Go classes. Let's give it something. On background. On background is good. And then the name is gonna be, I don't know what the name over there. Going to put it in M. Of Pebbles, New York. So yeah, pebbles. Okay, so this from pebbles. This from pebbles, comma, New York. So Control plus S, save our work. Let's go. See, there we go. So this from Pebbles, New York. And it seems this guy is still deep. Alright. Deep. And picture. Too deep. Okay, so move on to the next page. Since um, page 2 this. Oh, my dog used to be so lonely, but with herself, they found the love of dog. And my dog, so they, my dog used to be so lonely, but with the help of the dog, just use it. It's the help of it. um, there is one more image. Is from a lady. Peace and love. Ladies and love. Okay, so let's go out to our route. Then in dog. If you don't understand how we're going through the process, then it's best you go and revise uh, linking files in our video in our playlist, and you get it there. So lady on background. Okay, let's get some EM. And what's her name? Bagley from us. Bagley would be spelled the name right. Hello. Let's try. Control plus S, save our way. And there we go. That's nice. Almost there. So I was talking about this guy, this white space thing over here. We should get rid of it before it gets rid of us. So let's go back here. Inside of our files, our styles, go to body. The file we've gotten some body styling already there. Let's use overflow. Overflow, then X will overflow. You see that it is overflowing in the X direction. Overflow X. So we set overflow to hidden. Okay, overflow to hidden. Save our work, and then let's go back and see there are no more horizontal spaces available, right? Okay. So the next thing is we're going to style this. We're going to style this, and I will just hide one of them. comment it out. So we'll concentrate on the other. That will comment the second one out. Then we'll have just one. Then we focus on that. Okay. Good, good, good. So here we go. This is what we have now. We have to, get some padding for this guy. But it's not nice. Okay. So section ID, it says customer say. I would love to copy this because I want to, target something wrongfully, which is going to cause me problems. So just copy. Then let's head to our CSS. Down here, we say, let's comment. So our customers see section styles. Okay. Customers see section styles. So yes, don't forget this an ID. So we just target it and say, first of all, we need some padding and we 7%, 7% all around, and 50% in that one. That's fine. Almost there. Almost there. Then the next thing is we're going to center everything. That's just align. Just align. And you say center. We are doing this because that's fine. It's centered. Because when we started, you could see that this guy was all over, starting from this side to this end, and this is not something we like so much. And the image was also at just one side. So giving it the padding, we were able to get some spaces around it and also on top of it, between it and this section. Okay, so that's the reason why we did that. And we wanted to center it inside whatever container it is contained now. So if you check with our pesticide, by which I believe you will have it by now, you check using our pesticide, then since it's taking a bit longer, you would see that we have this now nicely centered. Okay, nicely centered. So we just go back. Our image seems to be too big. Okay, our image seems to be too big, so we're just going to change the size of our image, okay, of our image. So let's see how best going to do that. But before that, it seems our section here, there is no difference between this section and the one at the top. Okay, so at least we should try and bring some difference, and we'll do that by setting a background color for that. Okay, BC should get me a background color, and we are going to set it to EF8172, and that one should bring some bit of difference between them. That so now they are separated and we can see. And the next thing is our image of target our image. So we're going to call on customers. Say we want to be very specific with our, with our selected, so we know what we are doing, not just anything. The image, we want to give it something very small, maybe 10% of its current width, and that one, okay. Then we want the image to be, it's what we want it in a circular form. So we're just going to say border radius. We are getting a border radius. And we're going to try different aspects. I know it's going to be 100%. So let's see if that works for us. So we get around. Now we want to get some margin because our image is kind of combined with all the other properties. Okay, so other elements. So we're just going to say 20 pixels all around. Okay, that's fine. And there we go, almost there. Our EM seems to be down, so let's go to our structure and change the E. Let it come. Let's pass. Okay, so we're going to see what happens. Still. We want the image to, float. Let's see if that one will work. So by floating, we would be able to set it to push. Let's come to. Didn't work. Float didn't work for us. Then let's try and check something over here. I don't know the reason why our EM should be that darkened. Let's see what is causing that. Maybe the display is set to block or something like that. If that's the case, then we'll have to change it to inline block. Then we should be good to go. So nothing. Auto. Which one are we? Okay, selected. Let's go down and see what styles are inline. Oh, all this. Sorry. That's the thickness. So we're going to say font style italic. We will change that. Font family. Okay, so we are just going to change everything from this. Okay. Font style italic. One. Text decoration. Text align center. Start. Then text decoration thickness. Okay. Change that. Okay. Just want to be very specific again. So, then targeting the EM side of this guy, we are going to say test detection thickness. Test the thickness. Set it. Oh, work. Okay, so let's try and bring down this thing to 50. If we get go back. Okay, so let's make it 20 pixels. Then when we come here, we want to margin and star. Go down. So we have pebbles down. It's causing this. So let's try and check. Because we set it on. Okay. Um, font FW font width. That's nice. We've gotten what we wanted. Mm. So change again. That's nice. We'll just need this on the side. Let's check. We'll see it's right here. Let's see how they got it and then we'll implement that. So let's try and decrease the font size and see. Yes. Change it. And just wanted to center. This thing is not. See it well. See. Okay. I want this guy to be at the right hand, you at the left hand. I know. So the difference between M and RM, just want to make this thing clear. REM is for the root element, which is the HTML element. So whenever we set a property to, let's say, something something REM, it means that that number that we have given that property on that element should be that number times the number of whatever size the root element has. So let me bring it down so you understand better. For instance, let's say our root element HTML, which is the root element, has a font size of, let's say, 10 pixels. Okay, a font size of 10 pixels. If I set a font size on any other element as, let's say, font size is equal to 1.5 rem, then it means it should take 1.5 times the font size of the what HTML element, and in this case it's going to be what 150 pixels. You get it? Sorry, 15 pixels. 15 pixels. So it's going to be 15 pixels. If it were to be 100 pixels, that's when it's going to be what 150 pixels on the element that I am setting it on. So you take key note of that. Then the M, as we could see here, 0.4 M. We call it M, EM, we call it M, okay. And that one will be as much wider or smaller as the parent element. So in this case, you could see our M. Let's go back to this guy. EM, our EM, where is it? Yes, our EM. Our EM is a child of a section element here, okay? A section element here. So that's one thing you should note. So whatever value we are setting here is relative to the parent element, which is the section element, A dedicated session will be on the unit use in CSS, and we're going to know how best to convert from one unit to the other later on. But this is just an introduction, so you wouldn't be confused with whatever we are doing here, okay? Okay, so that one being said, let us continue. We want pebbles here. We want pebbles to the right hand side. So maybe let's enclose these ones and something else. Let's say a div. So let's cut it out. Customer promise. Okay, so that's fine. Let's paste that. That's fine. Now we'll get to this guy. I want us to do one thing. The H1, the text color is too bright, too bad. As you could see here on our pink background, we have this guy. This text in what? White, and that's what we're going to implement. So we just want to say that the H1 inside customer scene should have some color. Which where's customer scene? Customer scene. Damn it. Customer scene. Customer scene. Oh, we want the H1 inside of this. So H1 wasn't H1 actually. Still want the color to be something like, oh, let's see. Doing some changes now. That's nice. And it seems they are two stuck together. Let's give it some light. Maybe one prime. So you should know that the line height determines the distance or the space between the lines of what? A content, okay, or a text. So in this case, we are setting it to 1.3 times of whatever it is having now. And you see, there seems to be some nice space in between them, okay. There seems to be some nice space in between them. So that's where we're working towards to, okay. That's where we're working towards to. Then the fonts family, yes. Automatically it has inherited from parents and as Sarat this time around. Good. Then I will have that. Let's do sans sensory work. So that's nice. If it doesn't come, then we're just going to change the font width. So font width to 100. This, see, that's fine. You see it's pop now. It shows then the EM to change to color to F, F. That's not. So there's one thing we have done that we didn't do for the others. We have customers say, let's see if you have customers say, and class customers, we haven't used that class. So it means that everything that we are having here will be applied to these ones as well. They are uncommented. You get it? Okay. So that's that for name. We'll just try and figure out how best we're going to make Pebbles and this guy be on the same thing. So maybe if I set customers, to flex, then uh, so let's pull EM down. Then we'll take H2 out of context. We want to, there's something over here. So EM and this thing can fall. They can be on the same line. Floating with. So this virtually shouldn't change anything. That's nice. And customers should be flex. Then there should be space between them. It's a class. So yeah. Set the display to that one alone should. Let me see. We're going to get Pebbles. Says oh, so boom. There we go. So we've gotten what we wanted, and it took us a while though, but we've been able to go through it successfully. Kind of difficult, well, so that's nice. So that's that. We have commented out the other part because we don't want it to conflict this part. Let me try and get this thing working for it before we get here. We just want to still remain comment it on discuss. Perfect. So Yeah. Let me hate typing lots. You get it? Hate typing. So let's see. Let me see what happens when I select. Point. Before you want this thing and give us customers. Let's take this. Yeah. Bring it down. Let's select it. Format it nicely. So that's now we have to comment it out. Okay. It doesn't here. So this actually shouldn't change anything. Yeah, so that's nice. We are almost getting there, and also. Yes, now there is something I want us to do. This heading is part of, I think, the title. Just below the title, we have this heading. Before now, it was 2, but I had to change it because people were complaining. So I had to change it. And I'm sure you did also. So I changed it. Where is it? Wherever the H1 is supposed to be. Then you go there and you change that one in your code for us. Yes. So I think the line height was previously 2. It was previously 2. So you see, this is what we were having by then. But now I have changed it to 1.1, which is giving us what we have here now. 1.1. That's quite change it to 1.3 rather. Seem to be too close to each other. This quite long. Maybe the font size. Size. I want to give it some good points. Oh, I said font size. I hate this. Font size. Come on. I want it to be somewhere around 5 RAM. So this time around, to show you understand what RAM stands for. Woo. So maybe let me make it 1.5. Bad. That's not bad. And what's the end? Doing the same line with me. Let me see what happens. There we go. So let me give it line height a bit more, maybe 1.5 this time. With the magic. There we go. That's quite off. Now I want us to change 1 or 2 things before we leave here. You see, our hover is not working again. I may be asking why. Don't worry. That's why we are here. Everything today. So that one is actually has to text something. Text link. Something like that. Yeah, I I got it. So it seems we've gotten rid of the hover state for that. So let's go on link test. See on hover. On hover, do some magic for us. Hover, you should change the color. So I think I've been before. So this was to change to this color. So by now hovering. It wasn't targeted. Link this. Ooh. Link item rather. So your selectors are very crucial. Okay, always take note of which selectors you are using because they will influence what you get. Okay, so this is what we're having. But I don't want us to use this thing again because it's kind of something. We just try and make use of some new property that we call the opacity. Opacity sets the transparency of an item or object. We normally use it on images and text, okay? And it ranges from 0 to 1. 1 means the highest opacity possible or the highest color or whatever be it. Then I think 0 is the most transparent, and at 0 you wouldn't see the thing at all. So I would just want us to try and experiment with it and see how it works. So 0 and 1. Okay, so now you can see we don't have anything, but if I hover, we should get something popping up. That's fine. And there's kind of something. So not really bad, but not really good. Because now would the person know that, oh, there is even this thing here. Okay. So we need it, but we want it to be very thin. Okay. So we just say 0.5 or 0.5. It doesn't take any units though. So take note of that. And now we should expect to see something there. And hovering over it, we get the real color. Okay. So that's that. It's fine. That's fine. Then the next thing I want us to change is our brand name. I don't know where it's going to be. I'm sure. The color, I want us to change the color to white because it's kind of FF from, and I expect it to pop now. That's not bad. It seems our fonts family is not working for it because Tin Dog, the T is supposed to be some kind of stylish. You get it? So let's refresh it. See how this we're going to get our web app and going. Oh, it is taking years. That's it. So now this is what I was talking of. Now you can see these things are italicized and these are something that we don't actually want. So let's come here. I just want us to how to make text our Alex Indian. Let's see what we get. The emphasis now using CSS. CSS. If we get that, then we will italicize it. Okay. The font style CSS button set whether a font should be styled with normal, so or oblique face from there. So I want all our ink text. So from there we got to know the font style is good to set whether it's italic or not. Say normal. We want it to There we go. So now it's normal. That's fine. In fact, we need to set it all around our body element. Get rid of that size. Yeah, have it. Okay. It's font style, not font size. Okay, font style. See now. Um, there we go. The normal and you are now. We're trying to tell me. There we go. But it seems our what's the name? H1. H1, where are you, Jack? Okay, I'll set it on general. You remember the general selector? Yes. Going to use it for the first time. And I'm setting it on all the elements here. We say the normal. Okay. Put it to, there we go. But it seems there's still something to be done. Once it must start, then we'll still get this. Then means we'll have to change the Montserrat later on because it's collecting like it. So now we've got everything up and working. So the next thing is to implement. Like where this thing is lined up. Let me see how it was done here. So maybe font for that is too big. Let me see. The H2, yes. That's the H2 for customer say. Font weight. Window you pop that. Then I think font size. Font size is too big. Size it is 1.0 PM, 1.2 RM. We will decrease the font size. There we go. We are almost there because they were having all the things on line. There we go. So gotten that, and that's that. That's actually nice. Not bad. No longer have to I no longer to have to save adapters for just connecting them. So that's that for this section. In our next section, we're going to continue and implement carousel to our site, so we would be able to click and have this nice effect. Okay, that's not nice. That's really nice. Okay, so for this and more, I'll see you in the next section. Okay, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe as you enjoy and you learn. If there are anything, you comment below. If you want us to make any video too, you comment down below, and then we'll take it up from there. So see you in the next section.